The sound of this solidarity song announces a rift between the government and unionists. The song is even more prominent than the nation's anthem. It's again the turn of the Joint Health Sector Union JOHESU with a strong voice to begin an indefinite strike. In March 2018, JOHESU issued a 30-day ultimatum to the federal government to resolve all outstanding payments due members of the union.
We shall not be more. Our blood is thicker than water. We shall not be more. Our blood is thicker than water. We shall not be more. Our blood.
The national chairman had berated the federal government for not paying much attention and the seriousness needed to the agreement made with the union.
Our delegation is going around the federation to meet our tertiary health institution members, to put them on notice and to sensitize and mobilize them that the government that promised to solve our problems within 5 weeks, 5 months gone and they have not done anything. The last time we asked unions individually to go and do a referendum on whether the people support our going on strike with the cogent reasons that were available. And the people at that time, about 80% of the workers said we should proceed on strike. And we did. Even when we were to call off or suspend the action, when we were to suspend, they really were angry with us. But we said, because of the lives of Nigerians, we are doing what we did. Believing that the government, since it took them 15 days only to do one, 5 weeks will be enough for them to do another. And as we speak, they have not done anything as we speak. We even gave them, before this ultimatum, we gave them 21 days grace period, that is to comply, notice of compliance. We gave them that on 9th of February, which terminated on the 28th of February. And nothing was done. Hence, we have given these 30 working days. At the end of the 30 working days, if the government feels that our ultimatum is a love letter, then we are going to play love with them.
We have fed many souls, and already people have been dying and dying, when the doctors and nurses are there. And then talk about when the nurses are not there. It will affect them very well, because when they bring the people, maybe emergency, and they are not there, people will be dying like fowl. So I am saying that they should not go on strike.
The health workers had entered into an agreement with the federal government to implement the federal salary adjustment, otherwise known as CONHES 10, the payment of promotion arrears for its members, as well as the upward review of the retirement age of its members to 65 from 60. Nurses, radiographers, pharmacists, lab scientists and all other health units make up the Joint Health Sector Union, except the physicians, who may be overwhelmed already by the absence of their colleagues from work. JOHESU is not comfortable with what they believe to be a wide gap between their salaries and that of physicians. The health workers say it is now 6 months since the agreement was reached between the government and the union. The strike takes effect on 18th of April after several warnings. Compliance is almost total across the states of the Federation. Medical services are paralyzed, leaving helpless patients at the mercy of the striking health workers who are the backbone of hospitals.
We have demands for improved service and then provision of improved equipment and amenities. And in addition to that, we also said we should be fairly treated. That, like the adjustment of the CONHES salary, which was one of our cardinal issues. But in order that we show love to Nigerians, we did tell the government, of all, just take one item and deal with it to conclusion. But within the 5 weeks, they couldn't. We still gave them up to 17th of this month, which makes it over 6 months. And still, no positive results, no tangible response to that demand. So we said, okay, we don't have any alternative. We have been compassionate enough. And if the government that ought to be more compassionate than us have decided not to be, what else do we do?
This strike is actually preventable because these are issues that we have been demanding for even before last year. The directive we got from the national body is that this is absolute or total. So that means there is nothing like skeletal services.
As a branch, we are fully in compliance with the directive of the national leadership of Joint Health Sector Union.
The Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University Teaching Hospital in Bauchi State is devoid of the usual activity. Patients on admission are discharged due to the unavailability of manpower for medical services.